back to my channel. I know you're getting a lot of sun right now, but we're gonna move on. Today we're gonna be swatching these Artistro oil-based permanent markers. I got these a while ago, didn't get a chance to swatch them, but I'm trying to put things away, so I'm gonna swatch them today. I have purchased from Artistro before. I believe I have watercolors and acrylic markers that I did really like. So but this is actually, I think, my first set of oil-based markers in a really long time. I feel like I had some in high school. They're supposed to be perfect for working on rocks, glass, wood, and paper. There's 20 colors in a set. You're getting a lot of background noise. Just ignore that. Somebody's trying to drag race today. So there's 20 markers in the box. And we do have colors, so they're saying it's perfect on rock, ceramic, metal, wood, fabric, glass, stone, paper, and more. These markers have to be activated by shaking and pressing. I'm seeing gold, silver, pineapple, scarlet, cobalt, pearl white, onyx black, basil, watermelon pink, pumpkin, royal purple, powder blue, light blue, dark magenta, lavender, acorn brown, coffee brown, bisque, stone gray, and jungle green. All right, so let's get into them. Let me prep them, and then I'll swatch them, and then I'll come back and tell you my first impressions. All right, I am back from prepping these. These took a while to prep. I would highly suggest you prep these way before you start a project because they took a while to do. You have your barrel. It says that it's the Artistro medium tip 2 to 3 millimeter oil-based ink. It says shake, press, and draw. The barrels are clear so that you can see the paint inside of them and you can hear the ball rolling around. I would suggest probably shaking these before you use them every time because it is a paint and you can see it in there. So this marker is prepped for use. What else could I tell you? Really quickly. Oh, there's no name on the barrel. So the way you know what color it is by the number on the cap. So even though there was a name convention on the box, it didn't translate to the caps. So if you want to keep those names, you have to make your own swatch chart so that you would know the name to the color versus the number. I don't know if it corresponds to anything else. But I just want to flag that. So let's get into the swatches. So that is all 20 colors of the Artistro oil-based permanent markers. So first things first, these markers do have a smell to them because it is oil-based. Some of the markers are stronger than others. I always like to mention that if there is a smell, a noticeable smell, so that you're aware of it. So yes, they smell like paint. Plain and simple, they smell like oil paint. And some colors it's heavier than others. These, as far as the swatches go, another reason I'm telling you to swatch this out for yourself is when I was prepping the markers, I swatched it based on the back of the box, and the colors don't match the swatches that they have on the back of the box. So that's another reason you're going to need to make your own swatch sheet for this, because you can't really use the box as a way to be sure of the colors, because as you see here, like that jungle green is not the same, that light blue is not the same. So there are some places where the colors match up, and then there are other places where it's definitely a different color. So that's another reason you need to make the swatch sheet for yourself. These are interesting in the sense of some of these are wetter than others. Because it's a medium tip, it is hard to just write my regular script with them because it's a thicker tip. But there are some places where it was easier for me to do that, like the acorn brown versus the royal purple was pretty wet. And that's also something to be aware of as you're pumping them, that the more moist they are, the more you're going to get letters that kind of bubble up, like there's some streaking here. I don't know what's going on. My hand was writing faster than my brain, and I wrote basic, and I tried to write basil, and the same thing, I was starting to write margarita. Why? I don't even drink. But my hand started writing margarita instead of magenta, so just ignore those. But there's some places you can tell where the writing isn't as crisp, and that is because not because the tip is fuzzy or it's a bad tip. It is a stiff tip. It's that I keep saying tip. It's that there's so much ink, and it's so wet that can happen. Now, I'll be surprised if there isn't any shadowing, and there is, and there's bleed through as well on certain ones. I don't think I like the question about whether or not these are for coloring or lettering. I think you can use them for both, but I think this is not for like coloring in your coloring book. This is like basically what they said, doing a design on rock, doing something on ceramic, doing something on wood, doing something on a canvas. This is not for coloring in your coloring book. This is for artwork. These are art markers more so. I would say the color palette is a little on the darker side. You have red, yellow, orange, green, blue, violet. So you're getting rainbow colors here. The most interesting color I would say is that powder blue. I don't ever think I've seen that in any kind of marker. So I think that color is really interesting. The pearl white, I think my acrylic markers from Artist Concept, I think I liked that white marker better. I think I even said that was like the best white marker I've ever used. But this isn't bad either. You can see that it says pearl white on the page. The other things I would mention, like I said, because of how they're made, I think you may need to shake these occasionally so that they don't stiffen up in the case. I do have some concerns about storing them with a leak. Yeah, that would be one of my concerns, but I have to see how that goes with time. The golden and silver are outstanding. Those are actually pretty great metal markers, and I wish they had done maybe copper as well. Other than that, I think it's a pretty solid set. Definitely different from normal markers. And I think once you find the right application for them, you'd like them. I will insert the price I paid somewhere in this video if I haven't already. I know that I did get them. I think I might have got them during Prime, one of the Prime sales. I think that was when I got them. But overall, they're worth checking out, especially if you like to do artwork on things that aren't necessarily paper. Like if you're a person who puts designs on different things like glass and stone. I wonder if these work on plastic. They didn't mention plastic. If you try it out on plastic, let me know, because they don't mention plastic, but I would be curious if they set up on plastic. But then again, they're oil based. Would that be a good idea? Might not be. I'm not getting anything coming off on my hands, so I don't, but also I've been sitting here a while, so that could be the case too. I didn't feel like I had to be super careful with smudging, but again, might be something to look out for because they are wet. Other than that, I think that's all I have to say about these. As always, thank you for spending time with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.